Have your favorite action RPGs gotten stale after the countless hours that you put into them? Then No Rest for the Wicked might be exactly the game that you're looking for. Today I want to talk about how No Rest for the Wicked breaks free from the shackles of the most popular action RPGs like Diablo 4 and Path of Exile 2 to bring its own unique formula to the genre, and why once you get your hands on it, it's game over for your free time. You gotta love a good action RPG. I know I've put my fair share into Diablo 4, Path of Exile 2, and even Titan Quest 2. They suck you in for hundreds of hours, if not thousands. Path of Exile 2 is known for its hardcore min-maxing of builds, with free reign over a massive skill tree. Diablo 4 takes a more relaxed approach, with different classes to quickly throw you into its dark narrative and fast combat. And Titan Quest 2 falls somewhere in between. While these games all offer something different, the gameplay still generally results in a click of a couple buttons to delete an entire screen of enemies. It's awesome. And this is the first thing No Rest for the Wicked throws out the window. It gets rid of that one-man army feeling and swaps it out for a hybrid Souls-like approach. You still get that iconic isometric view, but instead of a swarming screen of enemies, you only face off against a few. It's a chess match. Each enemy is deadly if you aren't careful. But I only want to use the term Souls-like really lightly, because it really does have its own flavor. There's a dodge and parry system, and there are difficult bosses like a Souls-like. That's pretty much where the similarities end. There are different difficulties you can choose from. You don't rest at bonfires, you cook at them. You don't lose your currency or progression when you die. The enemies don't immediately respawn either. They're on more of a timer. I actually really like a lot of these changes because they make it feel unique. Even the parry system is different. Parrying doesn't leave the enemies vulnerable for a follow-up attack. Instead, it instantly gives you a big chunk of your focus bar, which allows you to do these fancy-looking rune attacks. They are the bread and butter of combat, and a feast for the eyes to behold. Check this one out. Whether you're unleashing lightning from your wand, blasting a laser of ice from your staff, or chucking fireballs like Liu Kang, it all looks like beautiful brushstrokes on a canvas. Seriously, this game's like taking an adventure through a watercolor painting that's come alive. This is another area where No Rest for the Wicked diverges from other isometric action RPGs. It takes those dark fantasy vibes of Path of Exile 2 and Diablo 4 and splashes it with some brighter colors like Titan Quest 2. The art style here is instantly recognizable. Like if you were to put a bunch of screenshots from other games and one from No Rest for the Wicked into a police lineup, you would be the witness that instantly identifies the correct suspect. I mean, just look at this.
This is my responsibility to the kingdom. With God's hands, we will reach into every corner of the island and bring it like a newborn babe, screaming into the light.
The developer Moon Studios clearly took inspiration from their previous games, Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori Will o' the Wisps. Between the watercoloring, the oddly shaped designs of the characters, and the grotesque enemies of normal people turned to monsters by a plague called the Pestilence Outbreak, there's nothing else quite like it. Moon Studios has put a lot of love and hard work into their world. This is video game art in its purest form. It's absolutely jaw-dropping, like when you see the Great Wall of China or the Grand Canyon for the first time. It's an interesting story, and your home base, the town of Sacrament. I instantly felt invested in the story and its characters. You just don't get that same feeling from Path of Exile 2 or Diablo 4. For those, it felt like you just smashed your way through the campaign as quickly as possible, just to get to the end game. Like the story was just some placeholder to level up your character. In No Rest for the Wicked, I wanted to know what came next, while leveling up my badass wizard. Odessa and Madrigal Celine are definitely my two favorite characters. I was rooting for them, even though they're on totally opposite sides of the war. If you've played the game, which characters were your favorites? This game also encourages exploration to find secret areas for loot and resources, and has this resource collection loop that directly ties into upgrading the Sacrament. This isn't just a tacked on thing. When you buy a house and furnish it with things, it lets you craft, store items, and even provides you buffs. When you upgrade vendors, their whole area is modified, allowing you to buy more items and craft more things. Take the vendor Whitaker, for example. He's just some guy he talked to at the beginning, but once you level him up, his whole area changes into this giant sawmill. It's the first time in a game where I actually don't mind going fishing, mining, or chopping down trees, because it actually has a huge impact on Sacrament, and it's integral for keeping your character powered up. What No Rest for the Wicked does share with Path of Exile 2 and Diablo 4 is its big focus on awesome loot and intricate weapon crafting and upgrade system. There's a lot to unpack here, so I'm going to save that for another video. But just know that looting for gear is awesome, and using all the crafting and upgrade systems to make that perfect weapon or armor, it's so addicting. So there we have it. These are just a few of the reasons you'll put down Diablo and Path of Exile for a while to play this game. There's been such an up and down narrative for this game throughout its 2-year early access period that I couldn't take it any longer. I had to jump in and see what all the hype was about. After spending 50 hours with the game so far, I'm excited to see where the story is going to end and what improvements they make once 1.0 releases in October this year. I'd really like to see some of the changes to a few things holding this game back from perfection, like expanding the limited inventory slots, improving inventory management, and minimizing or eliminating timers for some of the resource crafting and bounty systems that should not be in a single player and co-op focused game. But despite these things, No Rest for the Wicked is completely worth your time for a new isometric action RPG experience, and an addiction that I'm not going to get over for quite some time.